Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com, both free sites. Today is Sunday, July the 29th, 2018. Let's talk about a bet involving the Los Angeles Lakers for this upcoming basketball season. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. You know, LeBron James has a show where he's in a barber shop, and I noticed on one of the ads he has Snoop Dogg there hanging out with him, right? Let's hope that Snoop leans across and privately whispers to LeBron off camera, "This is the West Coast now. Things are different," right? Let me just say, one of the best bets on the board, in my opinion, is the under 53 wins for the Los Angeles Lakers for this coming basketball season. Look, I like the story of LeBron making it to the West Coast, being in a great city, hanging out with celebrities, being a mogul. Hey, I love all of that. I'm not hating on any of that. But I'm not buying any part of the hype when it comes to LeBron leading a team that was below 500 last year to above 53 wins in the Western Conference. First, let's look at LeBron the man. I got to tell you, I looked at Kobe Bryant late in his career, and I thought, man, Kobe's in great shape. Kobe could play forever. I looked at Peyton Manning late in his career. Peyton Manning even won a Super Bowl late in his career. And I thought, man, Peyton Manning, this guy can play forever, right? That illusion lasts until it doesn't. LeBron James is 34 years old. 34, right? What I want people to do is to look at the drop-off. Look at some of the retirements of great players right around that age, right? LeBron James has played a lot of minutes. I'm not talking about just early in his career. I'm talking about recently. He's played a lot of minutes. Let me tell you, guys at 34 start to get these injuries that sound minor, right? Calf strain or something like that. And then the guy ends up missing weeks. Then he comes back. We're all rooting for him. But then you notice he can only be himself on certain days, not every day, right? That's what happens. Kobe walks away scoring 60. We all know that last game wasn't how Kobe was playing every game leading up to that. I have concerns about any team led by a 34-year-old. Let me also say, too, there's already signs of dysfunction. Last year, Rajon Rondo was the point guard on a playoff team in the West. Right? Think about it. Rondo leads a team to the playoffs. Now you're telling me that he's on the Lakers and he's supposed to serve as a backup and mentor to Lonzo Ball? You've got to be kidding me. Rondo wouldn't be wearing Laker colors if he didn't feel he was going to get substantial minutes. This is a guy still close to his prime, right? So to me, Rondo and Lonzo Ball, they're too duplicative. Something's got to give there. Keep in mind, Daddy LeVar Ball thinks his son's going to be the next superstar and has told the press about it. He wants his son playing with not Rondo, with LeBron James. So I'm guessing the battle over minutes is going to be troublesome for the team, right? Someone is going to be disappointed. And when that person's disappointed, we're going to hear about it, either from Rondo or from LeVar Ball, Lonzo's dad, right? Let me say, too, that there's a complete absence of depth with the bigs. Who are the big men on the Lakers? Crickets. Julius Randle left, folks. I'm a Knicks fan. Michael Beasley did well for us last year, right? But Beasley's not defensively blessed. Can we at least concede that? Right? Can we also concede that there's a reason why Beasley, at this stage of his career, is making less than $5 million a year? I know Beasley has hit a high percentage of his threes. Let's give him that. But there's a big difference between shooting a few threes a game and shooting, let's say, 7, 8, or 9 like Steph Curry does. As the three-point attempts jump, that shooting percentage for many is going to dip. Let me also say, too, that the team itself is missing three-point shooters. Right? Lance Stevenson from 3 isn't that effective, right? You're in a conference where some teams have multiple 40% shooters from 3. Look at the Golden State Warriors, right? The Lakers aren't one of them. The problem with Rob Pelinka's line, that they're going to be tough and they're going to bully the Golden State Warriors, a team that, by the way, has made 4 consecutive NBA Finals, has won 3 of them, won 3 games, and was up in the one series they lost before Draymond Green gets suspended. Right? It's a mistake thinking that this Warrior team is mentally soft. Folks, they're proven. The argument should be the reverse. How come the Warriors, who were behind in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals last year against Houston, were able to pull it out in the second half? Right? The Warriors are mentally tough. So let me just say, if the Lakers plan on playing tough guy against the Warriors, let's do the math. 3-pointers are worth more than 2-pointers the last time I looked. Has that changed? You're being tough with a 3-point shooting team. Let's say you fight them to a standstill in terms of toughness. The Warriors are going to outscore you 3 points to 2 points on plays where they hit threes. Right? Let's be real too. You look at the Lakers, it's not like they have Gary Payton defensively on the perimeter. They don't have the defenders to play tough guy. I don't care how tough these guys look. Who cares? Right? They don't have the on-the-ball defenders. Certainly not to justify a 53 win over under. Let's also talk about the free throw shooting. You know, Lonzo Ball last year shot less than 50% from the free throw line. Folks, we're not talking about Wilt Chamberlain or Shaq, guys who are giving you 25 points per game and more, where you're looking at the free throw shooting and you're thinking, okay, I'll live with that. Right? No, we're talking about a point guard shooting less than 50% from the free throw line. What about Rajon Rondo? You say, okay, look, we'll just sit ball down in key parts of the game. In other words, the last 2 minutes. And we'll just play Rajon Rondo. Last year, Rajon Rondo from the free throw line shot less than 60%. Lance Stevenson shot less than 70%. How many minutes are you going to get from these guys? So you have a questionable free throw shooting team that isn't great from 3, that's lacking big men, and that's relying on a 34-year-old who hasn't played in the Western Conference. I don't know about you, but I'm taking the under 53 wins. This has disaster written all over it. Let me also say this too. I'm a big fan of Magic Johnson's. I think he's one of the absolute best players I've ever seen on the court. And I think off the court, he's one of the biggest success stories in professional sports, not just basketball. I'm a big fan. But go back and look at Magic's history as a head coach. You know, Magic actually won a few games when he became head coach of the Lakers. Then he started losing games. You know what happened? After he lost some games as head coach, Magic Johnson lost interest. Right? Now, I'm just telling you, that if you have a Warren Buffett, right, or a Bill Gates, guys who are titans in the business world, and they decide, you know what, let me leave my kingdom and let me pretty much volunteer my time for my basketball team here that gave me the opportunity to build a kingdom. Right? This is like Warren Buffett going back to his high school and saying, you know what, this high school's been good to me, or this college has been good to me. Let me take some time away from Berkshire Hathaway so I can help my college get back in the saddle. Now let's say Warren Buffett then goes out and signs LeBron James, right? The best of his generation. Sure ballot, first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Let's say Warren Buffett signs LeBron James. Guess what, folks? He's done his job. His college is going to look at Buffett and say, man, I am so glad that this guy's associated with us. He got us LeBron James. Now, let's say that Buffett is sticking around and actually looking at the team practice, and then he starts to think, man, we're thin at bigs. Wow, our guys can't hit free throws. Wow, LeBron's not as young as I remember him. Right? All I'm saying is, at some point, Warren Buffett, especially if he looks across the court and he sees Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, DeMarcus Cousins, right? Especially if he looks over here and he sees that Clint Capella has actually re-signed with Houston. Right? People are asking, how does Houston replace Trevor Ariza? Defensively, they don't. But wow, there are going to be some nights, folks, when Carmelo Anthony can't miss. Who is the reigning MVP? That's James Harden. You remember those guys who gave the Warriors trouble? PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, they're still on the team. At some point, Buffett is going to think, you know what, I've delivered for my school. Let me get back to shareholders meetings. Let me get back to value investing. Let me get back to the part of my life that has made me a mogul. Right? I believe Magic Johnson, who, let's face it, nobody knows basketball better than Magic. I'm sure Magic Johnson knows how tough it is in the West. After he takes this victory lap on bringing LeBron James to Los Angeles, right? I'm guessing Magic Johnson is going to be looking around for the off-ramp, isn't he? A few months ago, we thought that the Lakers were going to get another superstar, right? We thought it was LeBron and company, right? People were speculating, wow, Paul George, isn't he from California? Isn't he going to join the Lakers? People thought, you know what, Carmelo wants to leave OKC. Isn't he going to join the Lakers? I even heard, you know, LeBron is boys off the court with Chris Paul. Right? Why wouldn't Chris Paul want to be in La La Land with LeBron James? Folks, none of that happened. We weren't expecting the and company to be Lance Stevenson and Rajon Rondo. More recently, we were hearing, wow, Kawhi Leonard, he's from California. He wants to play in LA. Leonard and James, my goodness. Right, guess what? Leonard is in Toronto. So this is not what we expected. But yet it's priced like it's what we expected. 53 wins? Are you kidding me? In the West? Are you kidding me? Folks, in my opinion, it's not going to happen. Take advantage of the hype and the hysteria. Take advantage of all of the excitement of LeBron James coming to the West Coast, right? I'm guessing guys who have been out west for a while, I'm guessing Snoop Dogg is looking at the Lakers, a team he loves, and he's thinking, do we have enough to make the playoffs? Forget the 53 wins. I like the under 53 wins. I'm not buying the hype. Hey, I love LeBron. He's one of my favorite players. I love Magic. Right? Folks, let's get serious. This is grown man stuff. You're in a grown man's conference. Houston is hungry. Keep in mind, to win 53 games, you're going to have to beat some of these teams. Right? When it comes to the best player in basketball, when you look at these all-defensive teams, and you see that Anthony Davis is on an all-defensive team, then you look at the Pelicans play, and you realize that Anthony Davis made the playoffs last year, then ran roughshod over Portland, a damn good team, right in the playoffs. This is a guy who's younger than LeBron, right? Then you look around and you realize in the Western Conference, Anthony Davis can't get past a Houston or a Golden State. Just the thought of that has you picturing, AD on the side of a mountain trying to climb Everest. And you're telling me that LeBron James is going to show up and lead this cast of characters, right? Michael Beasley, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, to higher than 53 wins? I think you're kidding yourself. I like the under 53 wins here. I think the casino is giving away money. Even Lakers supporters understand that these guys haven't played with each other. It's going to take Rajon Rondo a few months to figure out how to coexist with Lonzo Ball. Not only that, you wonder about the young guys on this team. Let's say Lonzo Ball gets pushed to the curb, right? Who's going to listen to him in the locker room? Rajon Rondo, who's won an NBA championship? Michael Beasley, who should publish a travel guide. He's traveled around the league that much. LeBron James, who, let's face it, is practically running this team, right? Think about it. Lance Stevenson claims that the phone rang. He answers the phone. It's LeBron James. LeBron James says to him, I want you. Lance Stevenson decides, I'm going to be a Laker. Right? Now that's Lance Stevenson's story. Understand, when Lance Stevenson answers the phone, it's not Magic Johnson. It's not Rob Pelinka. It's LeBron James. Who's the person making the calls, folks? It's LeBron James. Right? So who exactly would a young guy who's being left out of the offense, or who has some ideas on how the offense should run, ideas that might conflict with Rajon Rondo's ideas, who's Lonzo Ball going to talk to? Food for thought. Let me also say this too. Cleveland makes the NBA Finals with David Blatt as their head coach. You remember him? Folks, all I can say is, I know officially the team and Blatt decided to part ways. Do you think any coach would be shown the door if they got along well with LeBron James? Right? Luke Walton isn't exactly Greg Popovich. Doesn't really have the gravitas, the reputation to have an argument with a star player and to survive. Right? Let's face it too. Let's say that LeBron doesn't like the way things are going with Luke Walton. he has a sympathetic ear to talk to, right? Because didn't Magic years ago get Paul Westhead run? Right? You can imagine that conversation. Magic's listening to LeBron. LeBron says, hey, man, this coach, I'm not sure. And Magic says, hey, I understand. I sympathize. Right? If it goes south, folks, it's going to go way south. If it goes south, you might know this team's not going to be able to get to 53 wins by the end of December. I like the under 53 on the Los Angeles Lakers. I think the world of LeBron. Right? I think the world of Magic. But I also think the world of the Western Conference. Right? Chris Paul didn't just not go to LA. He's actually playing on a rival Western Conference team. Carmelo didn't just not go to LA. He's actually playing with Chris Paul on a rival team. Right? Houston's not worried about Los Angeles. They're looking at the team they were beating in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals last year, who then came back, won that game, and hasn't lost since, sweeping LeBron James in the finals. Right? There are going to be some times, folks, this season, in my opinion, given the defensive ratings, where LeBron misses playing with Larry Nance. Right? I like the under 53 here. I think this is as good as it gets for the Lakers. Let's enjoy the hype while it lasts, because I believe it's going to dissipate once we see the team on the court in the regular season against a Houston or against a Golden State. Right? That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. Thanks for stopping by.